All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTube preppers, prepping outside the box. It is Josh, and we're going to get into a subject right now. It's just one I wanted to touch on. It's not a long video, but it's a point that I want people to take away, and hopefully it betters them in the future. So it's kind of mentality, kind of suck up your own pride for everybody, kind of a video, right? Don't take this as an insult or anything like that. But this is called "You Don't Always Have to Agree," right? You don't have to agree. And the reason I say this is because you'll have a lot of people that'll sit there and there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat for almost everything you do. There's a whole bunch of different ways. And when we talk about layering our preps and layering our skills and all that kind of stuff, some of those we could use in the future, right? So just because you know this way and your grandpappy taught you this way, or your dad, or whatever it is, don't just disregard this other thing. Take that and add that to your toolbox as well. So anyways, we're talking about people that you listen to, or videos, or whatever it is, instructors and things like that, real life instructors if they're still able to. But anyways, there's different professions out there and different experiences within those professions. Some people just have experiences and they don't have the profession, right? And they're regurgitating maybe what they're taught. So there's so many different avenues that all this information is coming at you from. And doesn't mean you have to agree with that specific person on how they do that. Don't gaff it off, because it might actually save you down the line in the future for all you know. But anyways, so a lot of people were taught in a different way. You might have someone that was, some soft guy that was, that's all he did all the time, every day, and he's trying to teach you room clearing or whatever it is, And then you have another guy that was on SWAT and for highway patrol or whatever, and he's trying to teach you room clearing. And they're going to have different experiences and they're going to have different ways of doing things. But it doesn't mean that you ignore both of those ways, because literally they might be utilized in two different scenarios, right? So they're both tools for your toolbox. Some people, when I say you don't always have to agree, they might have fallen behind in some fashion, innovation, or ways of doing things. They might only know the old way and not know the new ways. So when they're teaching you this old-fashioned way to do X, Y, and Z, and you might not agree with it because you have an easier way or you bought a cool gadget that does the same thing, doesn't mean that they don't have something useful they're also going to teach you later on. So I'm trying to get in your mind that just because you don't agree with everything someone says doesn't mean they don't have something useful to tell you and something you can learn from eventually throughout it. Like I said, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, and I guarantee you don't know all of them. Neither do I. That's why I'm still constantly, I go to people I served with and everything, and we're always constantly trying to go back and forth and teach things, learn stuff from each other. So a good takeaway from this is also on the flip side of it. Be able to take constructive criticism. If you're teaching your one way and you don't know another way, and let's say as a creator or whatever, or an instructor or whatever you are, someone sits there and says, well, I've learned this way. That's fine. Take a minute and hear them out. Or if they know how to do it, X, Y, and Z, and you know another one, just hear them out and then say, okay, that's a great way. I know that too. I don't know that too, whatever it is. But take that constructive criticism. Maybe the way you're doing it, they have a better way and they can improve you yourself as an instructor or whatever in the future. And if you can't take constructive criticism, you're never going to grow yourself, right? So that's that flip side of it. But anyways, all we're doing is all this stuff, whatever side of the road you're on, whether you are, an instructor or content creator, whatever, or you're just, listening, observing, and learning yourself. Whatever it is, going back and forth, take that extra stuff you learn, even if it's just a different way to do what you already know how to do, and add that tool to your toolbox. And then, I apologize, went to the notes. The point is, don't disregard the person. Just because they say something that, one point you don't agree with, even if it's a political point or something like that. Just because they have something, a belief that you don't agree with, don't completely disregard the person, because you might lack something that'll save your life down the line, something that will be invaluable for you and your family in a an SHTF situation. So that's all we're getting at. It's a short video. I just wanted you guys to get in your mind that there is so many different ways that everyone's learned and everyone's done and everything. And I would say almost every single one is going to be different in a little bit of fashion. along with the mentality side. So when you look at professions and experiences, you could have, and I've talked about this before, 5 guys do the exact same thing together, and all of them experience it 5 different ways, right? Because mentally, right, they might all be prepared in a different way, right? So there's different things, and you're just gonna have to take it for what it is. Take the good, leave the bad if you consider it bad, and then add to your toolbox. But anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow for the GOAT, and then of course we've got Wednesday, we'll call it War Game Wednesday, where we're gonna be doing our scenario-based talks, right? Should be fun. It's a lot of crowd involvement, I guess you could say, because we're going back and forth, and it's literally the group learning together in one. It's a giant brainstorming session in a way. So we're going to give them that. Take it for what you will, and I'll see you next time.